Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, December 5th, 2022. And we begin with video proof that a 15-year-old boy summoned superhero powers to lift a truck off his trapped dad. Dallin Wilkinson of Oakdale, California, was helping his father fix the brakes on a work vehicle when the truck fell and pinned Dad beneath it. Mr. Wilkinson couldn't speak or even breathe until Dallin rushed to the bumper and hoisted it just enough for him to roll out. Dad ended up hospitalized with broken ribs, a separated shoulder, and punctured lung, and no memory of how he got out until he pulled up the family's security footage. It was only then that he learned his freshman son was also his hero. Dad is now recuperating, and Dallin is back at school, no doubt something of a celebrity. Disgruntled, ticketless Taylor Swift fans are not about to shake it off. At least 25 are now suing Ticketmaster parent company Live Nation over last month's Eras Tour pre-sale train wreck. The accusation that the company intentionally misled would-be buyers by letting resellers, not Swifties, buy most of the early tickets. The attorney leading the lawsuit says Ticketmaster messed with the wrong fan base. The company has apologized and points to historic demand to see her perform live. Based on its own calculations, Taylor would have needed to perform over 900 stadium shows, almost 20 times the number of shows scheduled, or a stadium show every single night for the next 2.5 years. If you had to guess, how old would you think the oldest living land animal is? If you dare to go into the very high 100s, you'd be correct. Jonathan is his name, and he's a Seychelles giant tortoise living on the South Atlantic island of St. Helena. According to CNN, experts believe he was born around 1832, making him 190. But he could actually be as old as 200. He's now blind and has lost his sense of smell, but he can still hear, has good energy, and likes to sunbathe. Island officials have opened up Jonathan's home to visitors to celebrate his birthday and have also printed a series of commemorative stamps. The erupting Mauna Loa volcano is still more of an attraction than a threat, but state officials do have one worry that the lava might force the closure of a key east-west highway. Hawaii Route 200 runs 50 miles across the island and is the main thoroughfare between Hilo and Kona. At last report, the red-hot lava was still 2 miles away and moving at a rate of 40 feet per hour. Historically, attempts to change the direction of lava flows have been largely unsuccessful, and in this case, experts don't expect local officials to even try. As one professor put it, there's a fair amount of sentiment in Hawaii that you don't mess with Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of fire, and that this is a natural process that needs to play itself out. In Kid News Sports Notes, the U.S. men's soccer team may be out after its loss on Saturday, but the World Cup marches on. So far, the teams headed to the quarterfinals include France, Argentina, England, and the Netherlands. More knockout games are scheduled for today. And college football now has its top four: Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU. The two left standing after the New Year's Eve Peach and Fiesta Bowls will play for the national championship on January 9th. A quick thank you for all who share wonderful comments when rating and reviewing Kid News, and a special shout out to loyal listener Sophia Painter. Yes, we read them. Now, today's Kid News quiz. What did a California teen lift off his dad to save his life? A truck. How old is the oldest known living land animal? Jonathan, the Seychelles giant tortoise, is believed to be at least 190. Hawaii's goddess of fire goes by what name? Pele. Which 4 college football teams made it to the playoffs? Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU. In today's Kid News Kicker, it may seem like candy canes are the candy of choice this time of year, but a new report suggests otherwise. CandyStore.com received 16,000 responses to its annual survey and found that red and white candy canes are on the outs. They've dropped from number 1 in 4 states, and as CandyStore.com explained, those who don't like them say it's because they can be messy to eat, hard to unwrap, and after a while become sharp and dangerous. Also experiencing a cool down, peppermint bark. On the rise, chocolate Santas, Hershey's Kisses, and Christmas tree-shaped Snickers. Before we go, a big hello to our KidNuz teachers in their classroom, starting with Miss Cummins and her leopards at La Entrada in Menlo Park, California. Mr. Thompson, his bobcats, and their 2 chickens, Susan and Eunice, at West Boulevard Elementary in Columbia, Missouri. Mrs. Sula and her cardinals at Lewiston Altura Intermediate in Altura, Minnesota. Mr. Scribner and his Scribner Sprinklers at Bernice A. Ray School in Hanover, New Hampshire. And Mrs. Diamichis and her Newbie Knights at Mark Newby School in Collingswood, New Jersey. Thanks for listening. Teachers, our December Critical Thinking Noodler worksheet is now on our website and available to download. It's a great way to get your students looking at some of the best KidNuz stories of the month from a different, more personal angle. And it's free. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.